I love that our church is very diverse, a church that is full of amazing, incredible people. And often these people come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different walks of life, and different ages, stages. And as a church, we like to invest into healthy church communities. And often we'll say the church is not just on a Sunday, but our church extends into our Mondays, into our Tuesdays, into our Wednesdays. And this is where we get to build healthy communities. And one of my favorite is hearing all the incredible stories that come out of those communities.
My name is Jason Vessels and I live in Mitchells Plain and I attend our Hillsong Mitchells Plain location. So before finding a community or like being actively involved in church, like life was just mundane. Same old thing, no real like deep friendships or community. So I started off going to church, meeting these friends at the Connect group, kind of like formed, like started the community. And again, that was back in 2012 and I'm still friends with him. I love that it's not just what happens there on the Sunday, but it actually happens outside of Sunday and church halls as well. So when I said yes to fully dive into serving, attending a Connect group, because you can go to church and that can just be it. But I think once you make that decision of actually want to be part of what this is, and I found that in a serving team, I found that in teams that I serve in, like the events team or being part of the youth team, and like going to Connect groups, and I've seen how that over the years have just grown and not just like work, but also like in your family, like how you treat people, how do you show up, how do you lead well, and that all, for me, that was basically founded in Connect groups and Sunday serving teams. I remember in 2015, I gave up my permanent job to volunteer full-time at church, and I just felt that that was something that God has called me to. Later on that year, I remember that we had our Build conference in September, and I sat right at the back of one of the sessions. A guy came to sit next to me, and he then offered me a job, which I accepted, which I didn't think I would get because it was nothing that I wanted. And I love that I started working for him in the following year. So after landing this job, which I thought would change my life, which was amazing. And then COVID happened. One of the things that happened to me was I actually lost that job. And it was a time where I personally felt low, I questioned God, because how did he give it to me, but then took it away? And I love that in that season, church didn't stop. And I love that I could still find home, still seeing the community, seeing where my community of friends come alongside me, where they would show up for me, taking me for coffee, taking me for pizza. Like I remember them not making me feel like I'm not part of the community anymore just because of what happened. Like I love that they would still phone me, they would still check in on me. What happened to me in the sense of losing the job didn't change the way that I see community or the way that I see church or even more the way that I see God. So while being unemployed and still being plugged into church, I remember like a friend of mine that I met through the other company. She messaged me one day like, hey, I know an availability for a job in Stellenbosch, should I be keen for it? And she said like, the only thing I need to do is send my CV. And I was like, okay, cool. What's the worst thing that can happen? Literally the last week of June, they messaged me to say like, hey, I've got the job, which was like amazing. Never thought I would get it because I didn't study to become an event manager. But I love, again, the things that I have learned from church. I could see how that has impacted what I do. And I love that through our servings, like, it's not just for Sundays. It's really not for Sundays. It's actually our whole life that gets impacted by what we do, where we get plugged in. And I love that from this, having this amazing job that I can't explain, being able to fly around into different countries across Africa, I also now have the opportunity where I can be a blessing to people that I'm in contact with. Being part of a healthy church community matters the most to me because, geez, life is tough. Life is insane. And I think for me, it matters so much because my people are there. When I go through things, my people are there. When there's victories in my life, those are the people that I'm going to share it with first. I think God models the perfect example by having 12 people around himself. I mean, the creator of the universe decided to have a community. And if it was important for Jesus, I think it's so important for us.